but there we are. That's basically the cockpit inspection, and from there we're pretty much ready to go. Okay, undercarriage is down, flaps are up, speed brakes closed, throttle's closed, high pressure fuel cock's off, low pressure cock's on. Dimming switches are all good, the air pressure's all set and brakes working properly, the trim's set. All the gauges are reading as they should, the radio's set there. Check our carriage lights, spare lights are okay, G meters are set. They're all good, everything's indicating, all the gas switches over here, circuit breakers are in. All the switches are off, back down, check the hydraulic pump's good. The drop tank release is down, throttle's closed. Canopy jettison's good, ready for the start. Is that plugged in? Okay, Sam, wind her up. Fuel booster pump on, fuel booster lights out, starter switch is on, throttle's all set, ready for the start. And high pressure cock's up, and igniters are running. Waiting for the temperature to come up here. Yeah, it's lit off. Temperature's through 400 degrees, and just monitoring it so it doesn't go past 700. The temperatures are dropping back now, so starts complete, just waiting for the start motor cycle to finish and the motor will drop out. There it is. Okay, and we disconnect the external power. And just the after start checks, oil pressures come up, the trip light is out, temperatures are all looking good. And then from there we just go straight into our pre-takeoff checks. So the flaps, clamp the flaps down. Flaps set at 40 degrees, speed brakes, looking up the wings, the speed brakes are open. Closed. That's good. High and low pressure cocks both together. That's good. Trim up here, trim set for takeoff. And just working our way around. We'll leave these open on the ground. The canopy's closed and locked. The air flight instruments are all set. Fuel contents is full. Got the booster pump on and the low pressure warning light is out. And from there, just a control check. Controls are full and free. Level taxi just rocks away. Taxi up, we'll bring the RPM up to 4,000 revs. Check the bypass, make sure the RPM's right to 5,000 revs, and then back again. So once you're up and rolling on Vampire, trying to taxiing Vampire is actually one of the more difficult things to do. It's a combination of pedalling with your feet and using the handbrake on the grip. So you have to try and coordinate those two things, where normally you have brakes as toe brakes on the pedals in more modern aircraft. The Vampire is set up in the same way the old Spitfires and Hurricanes used to be, where you actually use the pedal and push that in the direction you want to go, and then you have to squeeze the handbrake on for the amount of brake you've got. So there's two functions to take place. So the hardest thing is actually just to taxi it out initially to get it out onto the runway. So we're taxiing around and positioning ourselves on the runway. You have to make enough room for your number 2 aircraft. So in this case, I'm going to be on the right-hand side of the runway. Number 2 Vampire is going to be on the left. And we'll just hold here until he gets into position. Okay, just final checks, making sure that your flaps are set, canopy's closed and locked, the controls are definitely full and free.
Formation, confirm ready.
Formation's ready.
Formation, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, backfire formation. Okay, flaps are set, everything's looking good. All the warning lights are out. brakes and bring the RPM up to about 10,000 RPM. There you go, temperatures are all looking good, flight warning lights are on. And we're rolling, so signal to our number 2 ship. We're on the roll, we've got 10,700 RPM. Temperature is about 650, it's under the yellow arc. Raising the nose at about 80 knots. And you just let it fly off. So airborne now, just stop the wheels of the brakes. Gear up. And flex up. Once you're airborne, get the flaps up and undercarriage up, and then you can bring the power back to about cruise power, 9,500 revs, and then turn the cold air unit on, which is really nice. It's nice cool air coming out. That's our number 2 Vampire in formation with us out here.
We've pre-briefed that number 2 is going to take the lead, so I'll give him hand signals. The whole trip is actually run on hand signals as much as possible, so you avoid using the radio. He's now taking the lead, and I'm slotting back into position. What we're doing here is taking the reference points, as you'll see, from the wingtip through to the nose. I'm looking across at the tailplane, squaring that off so that both rudders are superimposed over each other. This is my slot for the rest of the trip.
At this stage we're just climbing, going about 6,000 feet. We're going to run it for a low level. We're about to explain the first manoeuvre is going to be a line abreast loop. We just line the wingtips up. They will be operating probably about 1 to 2 metres apart of the wingtips. We'll be diving down to a speed of about 350 to 380 knots for the initial manoeuvre, and pitching up from about 500 feet. And our loop in the Vampire is about 4,000 to 4,500 feet, so we'll be up around 4,000 feet at the top.
The leader has the responsibility of getting us in the right place at the right speed and looking after my safety. I'm totally trusting in him for the rest of this trip. I won't have any idea where we are in relationship to how low we're flying, or as we're even going through the manoeuvres. You have to completely disregard what's going on in the horizon behind the other aircraft and just fly those position lines and slot to stay in position. And that's how you get a big formation of jets to be perfectly symmetrical, is that we just fly in these lines and we never actually get to look ahead or even into our own cockpits while we're in close formation like this. So now we're settling down into the climb, and Paul's going to be positioning the formation so that we can run in to achieve the right speed right on the display line. So in this case we're going to be climbing to around about 4,000 feet and then positioning for the first run in. First manoeuvre is going to be a line abreast loop, which is quite a difficult manoeuvre because the only reference you have is to line the wingtips up and try and gauge the distance from one aircraft to another looking straight across at it. So you do not have the luxury of a triangle to fly, you're just looking straight across at the other aircraft. So here we are lining up on this run, descending, and the stick forces and the controls will change quite dramatically. There isn't enough time to change the manual trim, so on the way down I have to end up pushing forward on the stick quite hard to hold the aircraft in position. And as we pitch up, the G loads are going to come on to around 4 Gs, and the back stick loads are going to get pretty high as well, so you're having to hang on to that stick really tight and just keep concentrating on that other wingtip. Trying to gauge the distance, maintaining about 2 metre separation the whole way around, and the challenge is to come over the top perfectly lined up so that the aircraft is symmetrical right throughout the whole manoeuvre.
Just around the line abreast loop, about 4 Gs all the way, and we're coming back round to the right now for a barrel right.